Fellas, what's going on? In this one, we're going to be running through Thailand versus Paraguay. Now, when it comes to these two countries, in my opinion, they are the two best bases to be at for online entrepreneurs. So I'm going to be running through, the differences between the two, the benefits and the drawbacks of each one. Now, I have chose to live in Paraguay over Thailand, and there's a few reasons as to why that is. However, I do think Thailand is good for some people, and in this video, I'm going to explain why. All right, so just giving you the full rundown here of my thoughts and things to consider when it comes to choosing a place. Now, first things first, you have bases and you have holidays, right? This video is about bases. You can go anywhere for a holiday. That's up to you. You choose where the fuck you want to have fun, and piss around, right? This is about where you should base and choosing a place to set up so you can focus on work, and just get shit done. Okay, so first things first, when it comes to Thailand, now I'm from Australia, guys. I've been to Thailand a few times now. It's a great place, right? It's super cheap. They speak English. It's very, very safe. Decent weather, awesome beaches, and nature and whatnot. It's just overall, it's a great spot to go. Whether that's, you've got Bangkok, the city, you've got Koh Phangan, Phuket, Koh Samui, Chiang Mai, right? Heaps of places to go to and base up. Now, in terms of, what to expect in these places, I feel like for me personally, there's more entrepreneurs there that are just getting started, right? They're more beginners. They're just making money online. They're freelancers. I didn't really meet many people making over 5K a month when it comes to Thailand. It's more so of a place to have fun, piss around, and do what you want to do, have some adventure, right? That's kind of where I look at it in terms of Thailand. Now, in saying that, there's heaps of people that base there, mainly because you can live there comfortably for 1,500, 2K a month, right? You do have options of a quick flight within the country to get whatever it is that you want. So whether it's mountains, nature in Chiang Mai, whether it's big city vibes in Bangkok, or you want to go to the beach and chill out in Koh Phangan, you have all those options. It's very cheap. You can get it done and have a good time and still focus on work. All right. Now, for me personally, one of the biggest cons about Thailand is the dating scene. Now, if you're a single guy, obviously this just depends on yourself and your taste. I don't like Asians. There's a shitload of trans there. And in terms of that world, not my thing. But outside of that, I still choose Paraguay over Thailand for many other reasons. Okay, and one of those reasons is the fact that I do believe that there's higher level entrepreneurs in Paraguay compared to Thailand, and there's a reason for that. And the main reason is the fact that Paraguay has a solid residency program in which you can offset your taxes as well. And so, the people that Paraguay attracts are people that want to move their taxes. Now, if they want to move their taxes, they're usually making more money, right? If they're making below 5K a month, they're probably not looking at this decision. It doesn't make too much sense. If they're making above that, well then, of course, they're going to try and do their best to sort this situation out and get it organized, right? On top of that, because there's a residency option here that you can get, it also attracts people that want a plan B. They're a little bit switched on. I also like that part of the people that I'm meeting in terms of the networking options. In regards to Thailand, I think it's a bit more party based, a bit more crazy, a bit more, backpackers, and people just come sliding through for, a month or two and not really taking things that seriously. Whereas what I found in Paraguay is people, genuinely wanting to win, having bigger goals, and aiming for more than just matching expenses in a cheap country, right? Which for me personally, I prefer to be around that energy and be here instead. Now, don't get me wrong, Thailand's a great place. It can be for certain people. I just think Paraguay's better, right? Now, both countries are super convenient, and that's what I really, really value about a base. I need conveniency. If I'm fucking around too much with, ordering food, or things are super expensive, or I can't get around quickly and easily, that becomes a problem for myself when I want to try and focus on deep work and get things done. So both are good in that perspective of, you can set up a life where if you want to order food every day, you can do it, right? If you want to outsource your cleaning and your washing and all that shit, you can do it. And this is why both of these countries are really good for that, and the fact that they're cheap. So your lifestyle goes up, you save a shit ton of money, therefore you can invest more or just live a better life, right? Now, leading towards Paraguay and why I prefer Paraguay, obviously you just mentioned recently there, but there's a little bit more than that. Personally, the weather is a little bit better. All year round, it's decent. It does get pretty hot in the summer, but you're not dealing with extreme humidity or too many rainy days, which kind of pissed me off in Asia. Now, in terms of the location, I know Thailand is pretty cool in terms of, you can go to different spots within Thailand and have, a lot of fun, or, get a lot of different, perspectives or types of nature and things like that. But when it comes to Paraguay, you're in a better location geographically with being able to go to other countries that are really cool, right? You've got fucking Brazil at your doorstep, which has a million different options of pretty much the same stuff in terms of nature and, adventure and just having fun. You've got Argentina as well at your doorstep, which I love, going to Buenos Aires during the summer, super good. You've got Bariloche, Mendoza, Salta, Cordoba in Argentina, which are really cool places as well to just kind of check out and base for a bit. Personally, being on a US time zone, for me personally is just so much better, right? For my work schedule, for the people that I'm working with in my team, it's so much better to be on this time, as well as if you are a freelancer or you do have an online job where you're working for a US company, which it usually is and it should be because of the currency. Obviously, you want to be on the correct time zone, and obviously Paraguay is in line with that. So that's another huge reason as to why I think Paraguay is better on that side of things. Top of that, the food, guys, depends on the person, but for me, I have a pretty simple diet, right? Animal based, and the steak here is unreal. I'm going to the fanciest restaurants in the city, ordering a fucking premium tomahawk steak for like $30-$35. I'd be ordering the same thing in Thailand for a lot more than that, I believe, as well as obviously my home country, Australia, fucking 10 times more than that. So, having a better diet selection is I think a pro as well, especially if I'm going to base here, is something I definitely want to keep in mind. Because obviously I want it to suit my diet, right? In terms of Asian food, I love it for a week, but after a week, I'm fucking sick of it. It's not for me, and it's not as clean as I would like either in most cases. So, keeping that in mind. On top of that, guys, when it comes to Thailand, the whole visa situation and being able to base there is a bit of a fucking headache. If you don't have a long-term visa there, you're going to have to jump in, jump out of countries, and this just affects your focus, right? And your ability to just hone in and choose a place to live. Because when it comes to a base, you don't want to be fucking around too much. You don't want to have to take mini trips or, worry about these things. If you come to Paraguay, you get the residency. It's only fucking 2K. Now you can just live here forever if you want, right? There's no visa hopping, none of this stuff. And so when you have a home that, a second home that you can literally just stay in full time if you want to, obviously, for me, that was just a perfect scenario, right? I'm happy to be here 6 months a year, if not 9 months a year. And then cool, if I want to go on a holiday, I'll go to Thailand and have some fun, right? It's a really good spot, don't get me wrong. But for me personally, I think Thailand is a place to go on holiday. It's not the place to focus fully on your goals, right? Be around the right connections and just have an optimized base that sets you up for, when you start making income, like high income, 10, 20, 30K a month plus, you have this option where you can sort out your taxes and not get fucking robbed by your home country, right? So technically it's a no-brainer to pick Paraguay over Thailand to base, but in saying that, it depends on you, right? If you're the type of guy that really loves the beach and you're a bit of a hippie, and you don't really care about earning more than 5K a month, these types of things, you're happy to hop around, obviously Thailand's for you. But if that's not you, Paraguay's definitely a more optimized decision and place to choose, in my opinion. Now, I roughly mentioned before about the dating, right? It's obviously something that some people consider when it comes to basing up because they're living in the country. So when it comes to the dating in Paraguay versus in Thailand, it is a lot better. Latinas outweigh Asians by a long way, in my opinion. They're both feminine, they're both good people, but in terms of on a physical attractiveness level, yeah, Latinas just take the cake. There's just no doubt about that. So that depends on your preferences personally, but one thing to keep in mind is that they're a lot better looking over here, if that's what you're looking for. Now, on the contrary, they do not speak English. A lot of them don't. So one of the cons about Paraguay is if you are going to come over here, and this is why not many people do it, because it's, that there's work to be done for you to come over here to have the life that you want. You need to learn Spanish. If you don't actively make an effort to learn the language here, you're probably not going to last. Okay, so if you're going to come over here, have that in your mind. It's not that hard to work on a fucking language for 30 minutes, an hour a day. Year by year, you get better and better and better. Once you're at a 6 out of 10, 5 out of 10, it functions, it works, and you don't really need to go much further than that. The conversation will help you get, a higher level anyway. So just keep that in mind, guys. If you're going to come over here, look, basically the answer is Thailand is very easy. It's an easy option, okay? And it's a fun option. Paraguay is a little bit the opposite, right? There's things involved that you need to do, right? You're in Latin America, so it's a little bit more unsafe. You need to be a bit more switched on. You need to learn the language, but you're going to grow more, right? So with these things that you need to do, with these things you need to accomplish, which by the way are fucking pretty piss weak, but with these challenges that come ahead, obviously more growth comes, right? So that also just leads me to how I want to end this video. It really depends on you and how much you want to grow, right? If you're happy just fucking coasting along and chilling out, and this is your kind of personality, then go pick Thailand, go chill there. But if you really want to level up and you reach your potential and you've got big goals, you're making a mistake by staying in Asia and not coming over this side of the world. That's kind of what I think overall when it comes to these two places. So that's my thought, guys. That's my rant about the two and what I think. Any questions about both, feel free to flick me a message in the comments. I'm happy to help out there. Other than that, thanks for watching the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.